Okay, guys, we are live. I'm back from Liverpool. I was in Liverpool the weekend, of course. The dream almost continued. I went over Friday, flew to Manchester, trained down to Liverpool early Friday morning, all the way through till afternoon on Sunday. I missed the parade. I was a half-free flight out of Liverpool in John Lennon. Airport was empty. Liverpool had just arrived in, actually, from Paris, but I'm not going to dwell on the actual game, which we lost 1-0, of course, to Real Madrid. Luckily, I think we played well. We chances. Mane hit the post. The Courtois got man of the match. Salah had probably 2 or 3 chances. We'd 1 or 2 others. They only really had one chance. And Vinicius scored early in the second half. Didn't take our chances. Few regrets, I suppose. But the main thing I want to talk, congratulations to Madrid, by the way, but season's over. We've had a really, really good season. League Cup, FA Cup, right up the last few seconds against City in the league. And, of course, Champions League final. It could have been epic, could have been historical, but it wasn't. But the main topic of conversation tonight, I think, it's what happened before the game in Paris and what happened after the game in Paris. Not even about the game itself. I mean, we should be talking about the game. Of course we should be. But we're not. We're talking about the madness, the craziness. Unbelievable. I think we dodged a disaster here. I really, really do. I mean, it was bad for the people that were there, but I mean, it really could have been much worse. I mean, you know, we've had 2 unbelievable disasters in our club's history, of course, Heysel and Hillsborough. And this could have been third. I mean, I seen some stuff on Twitter, I seen some stuff online. A few of my friends from Paris telling me it was crazy. They've never seen anything like it. There was no security. The police were worse than the hooligans, basically. There was a lot of hooligans, by the way. A lot of hooligans. It was just absolutely crazy. Jack Mack, no problem, Jackie Boy. I was over with Jackie Boy, Doug, Dan from White Red TV, John Moore, all the lads. I mean, Steve Stubbs, Luke, all the boys were there. We had a great night. It could, obviously, if we won, would have been better. But thanks to Jack, his mum and dad for having us. We had a great party at his house. Champions League party on Saturday night. But as I say, it's not even about the match I want to talk about. It's just the craziness, the madness. Who's to blame? UEFA? Is it the Champions League organisers? Is it the French police? Is it the French government? Who is it? I think it's all of them, to be honest. I think all of them are to blame. I mean, I just, it's crazy. It was absolutely crazy. You know, it really, really was. I thought it was terrible. Like some of the stuff, as I say, little kids being crushed and pepper sprayed and tear gassed or whatever you want to call it, crying before probably the first ever Champions League game, probably be the last Champions League game. They probably never want to go to Paris again. I mean, it was really bad. It was a bad advertisement, basically. Bad for Paris. I mean, Paris is Disneyland as well, doesn't it? That's the reason I went to Paris a few years ago, was to bring my little girl to Disneyland. But I don't think I'd be going to a football match. My brothers were there a few years, about 10 years ago, when Ireland played France. And it wasn't as bad as Saturday night, but it was bad enough. And there was a lot of lunatics, hooligans, and local bellsies and youths, and basically scumbags hanging around, and no-gooders robbing. You know, they were robbing. They were pickpocketing. I don't know what they were doing. They were just scumbags, basically. Pickpocketing, stabbing people, robbing their phones, robbing their tickets, robbing their passports. Absolute filth. They seem to be rampant on Saturday night. I've seen some of the videos. I mean, I don't know whether you see the video where some of them were hiding down a drain. Did you ever see that one when the police were taking them out? No, I don't know if that was Saturday night or maybe a few years ago, but I did see a fellow in a Liverpool jersey walking past, but what was going on there? I don't know. I mean, it's just crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. What do you do? But as I say, I just want to come on and talk about that, not even about the game itself, because this is taken away from the game. Okay, it might have been different. If we would have won the game, it might have eased some of the pain, but not really. I mean, you know, people could have got killed. People literally could have got killed. Could have got killed Saturday night. It was that close. I swear that it had to be that close. I've had 5, 6, 7 mates, friends at it, and they were saying, wow, it was pure luck. Nothing major happened. Now, there was injuries. There was big, big injuries. I've seen a few things. A girl bruised. There was stabbings. There was guys punched with broken teeth, broken arms, stabbings, you know, robberies. all this type of thing, tear gas in kids' eyes and people going around blind and crying. There was all that, but I mean, that could have been really, really, wow, I don't even want to go into it, but it could have been a disaster, basically, is what I'm saying. So, but I mean, who's to blame? Who is to blame? Is it UEFA organized? Okay, this game was meant to be played in St. Petersburg in Russia. We all know what happened. In Russia invaded Ukraine, so sanctions and everything else, they weren't getting the game. France is well able to organize these things. Let's be real here. They had the French Open on the same day. They had the Monaco Grand Prix. They had Leinster playing La Rochelle down south in the European Heineken Rugby Champions League, basically. And then Liverpool against Madrid in Paris. So the 4 major competitions going on at the same time. They've got the manpower, they've got the police, they've got everything. That's why they got the bleeding Champions League. Stade de France, big stadium, Saint Denis, I think it's it, but they got it wrong. They got it big time wrong. Jack Mack is just saying something here. Robbie Fowler was tweeted before, this is real. Put your rivals aside, put the banner away and see for yourselves what happened. And stick your point scoring up your arse. Yeah, I seen that. That was the one with the kid trying to get him, his dad trying to lift him. His head was way down low. He could hardly even breathe. I seen that one, yeah. I seen that one, Jackie boy, yeah. I mean, it's just, yeah, listen, I'm not worried about, talking about parades and stuff like that. Don't mad about parades and all the United, Chelsea, Spurs fans, not really City fans, United fans especially coming out of the woodwork, banter teams, forget about them. But absolute banter, boys. So, as I say, the main thing really about tonight is that, we dodged the bullet. We really did. I mean, it could have been an absolute disaster. It took away from the game. The game was a half an hour delayed, as we know. We were watching it in Liverpool. We were getting stuff sent to us on Twitter and WhatsApp, and I was even thinking, would the game go ahead? It was that bad, I suppose, but it had to have an effect on the players, both sets of players, Real Madrid as well, I suppose, and the Liverpool crowd coming in. That half the Liverpool crowd were only probably in at kickoff time, and then the other half came in and were probably stunned and probably not even going, what the hell happened there? So, I mean, it's just crazy scenes. Eamon Kelly, French, Spanish, and Italian police have a heavy-handed attitude to any English teams that are in town. Well, that's true. That is true. That's a legacy thing, but that's going back to the 80s, 70s, 80s, maybe even 90s, when the England World Cup teams used to travel. But that was more England's soccer team rather than, football teams. I know the odd football teams do give trouble, of course, but rarely Liverpool. I mean, a lot of families there, a lot of kids, little boys and girls and mothers, daughters, grannies, uncles, aunties, everybody was there. It wasn't just young lads running around, I think the locals in Saint Denis, around Parc de France, they've had problems there before. They came out in force. There was loads of them out. They all had, whatever they had, knives and weapons, and they were out for trouble. They were out for big trouble, the locals, and they were part of the problem. I think they made it harder for the police. They probably tried to mix in with fans, letting on they were Madrid fans, letting on they were Liverpool fans. Because you're hearing today a lot more about the problems the Madrid fans had, and they had problems too. You know what I mean? So it wasn't only the Liverpool fans that had problems, it was the Madrid as well. Stan Stubbs, Football Channel, Evening Day, fantastic to meet you over the weekend. Legend, thanks, Steve. Yeah, fair play. Steve, as I say, Saturday night, we did the show, we watched it with Jack and Steve and Dan and Doug and Conor from the Cop Council, John Moore, Andrew Quinn, we were all there. What a great time we had. But it was soured. I have to say it was soured from what happened. Not only the results. I mean, the results are results of a football match, but what happened before and after the game? Because I was on Twitter, I was getting all these, I'm sure Gary Lineker was retweeting stuff and saying stuff, and some of the people in BT Sport were talking about it before halftime and at the end. And only at the end did you get the full, wow, what the hell's going on here? Was there a disaster about to happen? But it was an absolute disaster. And I know Liverpool are involved now, MPs and stuff in England. The mayor of Liverpool is involved. I wouldn't hold me breath with UEFA. It'd be a whitewash. I can't see, other than making recommendations for security. And I mean, the cordons, you had kids in their 20s with security coats on. Boys and girls, basically, maybe 18, 19, 20, standing there. Fellas, big 6 foot burly fellas just walking past and probably laughing at them going, security? Yeah, right. There was no proper cordons. I remember going to a concert a few years ago in Dublin, a big stadium. You had an outer cordon where there was fences saying ticket, and you weren't even getting past that cordon until you had a ticket. And that was like a few hundred yards away from the stadium. So you don't get even to that area. Then you get in again, you're checked again. And then at the turnstile, you're checked. So you have 3 checkpoints. This seemed to be just one bleeding checkpoint right up at the stadium. And then coming out, I heard the lads in Redmen talking about, because Paul and Chris, I think, were over there, and there was the corralling of the fans at the end, trying to get them out and get them in. It would like corral them into a tunnel. And I think it was about 6 or 8 feet wide, like 20,000 fans trying to go through at the same time. I mean, it was, scary stuff. Imagine being there with your kid. Imagine being there, anyway, on your own, but imagine being there with your kid or your wife or your girlfriend or something. Wow. Absolutely mad. Crazy, crazy, crazy things. But as I said, I'm not going to be on too much longer. It was mainly to vent my anger. I wasn't even in Paris. I was in Liverpool. But you could see it unfold, and you could see, I was worried, to be honest, just before kickoff. I was thinking, oh no, here we go. This is going to be another disaster. This is going to be really, Luckily, it didn't turn out that way. But that was just luck. I think it was just luck. I mean, pure luck that it didn't turn out that way. It certainly wasn't the police, the French police. It certainly wasn't UEFA or the Champions League organisers or whatever they were. Well, they're not called disorganisers, I suppose you'd call them. Man United fans got battered by the Italian police in the stadium in Rome. Football fans were treated like shit. Yeah, I did see that as well. But Liverpool fans weren't like that Saturday night. Do you know what I mean? There was no throwing bottles. There was no, wrecking, throwing chairs outside restaurants and pubs. There was no trouble. There was a big fan park. I think Jamie Webster was at the Alfred Rapper at it, I think. And I seen that there must have been, I don't know, thousands at that. That looked like unbelievable. Look, I was in Concert Square Saturday at lunchtime, and the place was just, I don't know if you've seen the video on my channel, but the guys out with the pyros and everything. It was just good-natured, bang, bang, bang. But there was no real trouble. I mean, I didn't see any scraps or major hooliganism going on before or after the game. Did you? I've seen a few local youths jumping on people and battering people and coming up against people, and about 20 of them jumping on 2 or 3 lads on the ground. I've seen that. I've seen a lot of that, a lot of running, a lot of them jumping over railings and jumping underneath turnstiles. The guys, I don't know whether you've seen them, they're with guns or something in Syria, somewhere like that in the Middle East. And the same 2 guys in the picture, then clicks to them coming into the stadium and going underneath, no tickets, no nothing, going underneath the turnstiles and just getting in, and basically knew the guy on the ticket checker, whoever it was, laughing and speaking in French. And I mean, it was just, anybody could have got in there. I mean, it could have been a terrorist attack. How did you stop that? There's no way. There was no checking anyway. So, I mean, it was madness. Absolutely madness. I'm not even talking about the game, Elbow. Yeah. I mean, the game's over. We lost 1-0. Everything I more or less said last week happened. I said we got to take our chances. We got chances, didn't take them. They will take their chances. They only got 2 and he took 1, and even one of them, one of them was offside. Was it offside? Not offside. I thought we were lucky there, but then Vinicius back post, I don't even know if that was a chance. I think that was just a ball across the box. It just fell to him in the far post, no marker, and bang, 1-0. We'd 1 or 2 chances. Salah, 2 good chances, didn't take them. Didn't do enough second half. First half we were decent, but we needed to be leading at half time. We weren't. We lost the game. But as I say, it was the crap that happened before the game and the crap that happened at the end of the game that has me royals. You know what I mean? Jack says Paris should be banned from hosting any European tournaments. The instant response of the government minister to point the blame to LSE fans without investigation. Yeah, but there will be an official investigation by UEFA, by the police. I'd say the British police or whoever. They always have spotters over there, don't they? People that are going to cause problems. They would have been there themselves. A lot of the journalists were there. A few of them. I think Mark Ogden, who I think he's a Manc actually, was very good. Man, Cavi of Sky Sports did a very good. They're not Liverpool fans, by the way, so it's not biased. It was just say what you see type of thing. And he was very good in Sky Sports. So he a lot of good stuff. A lot of players were at it. A lot of players' wives were at it. Players' friends couldn't even get in, saying their tickets are fake. I think Joe Matip's brother or Andy Robertson's best mate, he gave him a ticket. He couldn't get in. He'd get a ticket from Liverpool. He's getting a ticket from Robertson. He said it's fake. Then I heard problems where they were scanning the tickets and the scanners were broke. I mean, it was just like, it was an absolute shambles. Shame on the UEFA, shame on the organisers, shame on the French police. What are they at? Riot, full riot gear. And at the end, if you've seen it, when the whistle went, all the Madrid fans, as you would, you just won Champions League. but all the riot boys came right up to the Liverpool end, standing there, full body armor, full transformer armor with their everything, their guns, their sprays, everything, big huge battens, helmets, like bleeding in Ukraine war they were, but weren't at the Madrid end. So, you know, maybe it's stereotypical saying English fans, you know, they always cause problems, they always do something when they're away from home and all this type of thing. But I didn't see any of that. It's rare Liverpool do it, to be fair. Now there is teams, you've bad apples in every bleeding, you know, fan base, but there wasn't that. It was a good mix of family and kids and boys and girls, what I seen and my mates seen. People I know over there seen. So they can throw all the crap up that they want, but it's all on camera. That's the only good thing about now is most of us people have cameras. They have it all on evidence. All the evidence is on camera. All the evidence is there. So you can't really, you know, hearsay, they say. It's all on camera, which of course helps the investigation, doesn't it? What's he saying here? The French police act like this is the French domestic games. Well, I don't know whether you've seen. I think it was Sunday night. Saint Etienne and Auxerre. If you've seen the scenes at that game, one of them got relegated. I'm not sure. I think it was Auxerre, but the fans invaded the pitch on Sunday night. I must have been about 1,000 ran onto the pitch and started assaulting players and assaulting each other and throwing stuff and flares at each other. So they do have an issue in French football. I think last year as well, there was a lot of problems. So there is a lot of problems in French football. Hooliganism is what I'm talking about. Way worse than in the English game. The English game was bad in the 80s, I'm sure, early 90s and stuff, but they stamped it out pretty well. But there is a problem in the French league. There really is. And I seen it Sunday night. It was just to watch what happened Saturday night and then go, what happened here Sunday night? The police just weren't in control. The police just let them run onto the pitch. Crazy. But I mean, guys, what happens? I don't know. As you say, Liverpool are involved. UEFA will do some investigation. I say the whitewash. I just can't. I can't see them blaming themselves. They'll probably put in a few. Can't see the French government going back on themselves against the police. Can you? I think the police, gendarmerie. I think the police in France are nearly militarized. You know what I mean? I might be wrong here, but there's a connection with the military and the police over there, so they're more heavy-handed. Let's say, put it that way. Probably Spanish police are heavy-handed too. The Italian police, as someone said earlier, it wouldn't be more hands-on like, say, the British police or even the Irish police. It's more hands-on, you know. We don't have guns. We don't have guns on the police in Ireland other than special police or detectives or special forces police. But we don't have the normal cop walking down the road with a gun. So maybe that has something to do with it. In France, they do. They've had a lot of terrorist attacks in the last few years, of course. They have to be wary. But, my God, what happened Saturday night? Anything would happen. There could have been a terror. Anybody could have get in. I mean, anybody was getting in. And everybody did get in. So anything could have happened on Saturday night. I mean, I think we dodged the bullet. I think the fans were lucky. The club was lucky. Everyone was lucky Saturday night, even though it was bad. But it could have been so much worse. Just from what I've seen, as I say, it's not a hands-on. I wasn't in Paris. I was in Liverpool, but I've seen a lot of stuff online. I've seen all the people talking about, all the people that I would trust. I mean, the likes of Taggy was over there. I don't know personally, but he seems like a sound bloke. I was actually in Taggy's bar on Saturday, talking to his wife, and like he seems a nice guy, so I believe him. And there was Ragnald over there from Hotel Tia. I mean, James Pearce was there. The man on Sky Sports News, the reporter, one or two reporters on the button. You know, they're just saying it as they see it. A few mates over there at the game. I mean, Owen Cop on podcast was there as well. He's meant to come on tonight, but he can't make it. So there's been a lot of people over there. The Anfield Rapper there, they said their own thing. I think John and Neil Atkinson were there. So we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't expect a huge amount to happen. I really wouldn't. I just can't see it. An independent investigation is well underway from Liverpool, which is needed. Cannot be allowing UEFA to do their own, you know, what will happen. Police were forced people to delete videos. Well, Jack, I still don't see that happening. UEFA. So they're having a bleed. I know it's FIFA, but FIFA are the same. UEFA, FIFA, they're all in bed together. Let's be real. It's all about money. Don't care about fans. Don't care about anybody. They just don't care about anybody. It's all about money. Don't care about fans. Let's be real, like, you know. So if you think something's going to come of this, there will be recommendations. Oh, we should have had a bigger cordon, should have better policing. We shouldn't have used tear gas when we used it, and all this type of crap. But that really happened. Swept under the carpet, baby. As Eamon Kelly says, this will be swept under the carpet as the authorities usually do. As exactly, Eamon. That's what I'm saying. I swept right under the carpet. Absolutely will be swept under the carpet. But we'll see. Time will tell. I mean, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. But I really do think the club got away with it. The fans got away with it Saturday night because it could have been an absolute another disaster for Liverpool in our history. You know what I mean? Because I've seen some stuff and just, wow. I mean, that kid in the crowd been crushed, and another kid crying with tear gas, and batting charged, and fellas being mugged and stabbed, and fights, and local youths corralling around people. I mean, Anfield Lark is in. I think Alex was actually at the game. The organisation was rubbish. The area of the stadium was dangerous as Anfield Lark. I think you were at the game, Alex. I can send you a link if you want to pop in for 5 minutes and give me your account if you want. Put a thumbs up and I can send you the link. But, I mean, absolute disgrace. There's just no doubt about it. It was an absolute disgrace. That area around Stade de France is actually dangerous anyway, because as I said earlier, my brothers were over there a few years ago for an Ireland-France game, and they got out of that area, and that was 10 years ago. They got out of that area fast. There was local youths, there was gangs, there was hooded fellas walking around with fucking baseball bats and bottles and stuff. Who knows what they had. So, I mean, just wow. Anfield Lark said, didn't see the trouble myself, but my friends got caught up in a crush. Well, I mean, the crush was just bad organisation with the police, really, wasn't it? Well, there you go, Anfield Lark. Look at that. Yeah, that's all you need to read there. And that could have been a possibility as well. That really, really could have been a possibility. I mean, wow. Was there no Liverpool stewards of the game? There was Liverpool, or there was probably representatives from Liverpool Football Club and a few police, Merseyside police, something like that, as spotters and troublemakers, and just being able to talk to people. They usually do that, don't they? I don't know if there was Liverpool stewards though. I doubt it. But the stewards I seen were like working at McDonald's. People just walking by them. The turnstiles were a joke. I see it on Twitter. I mean, it's just so crazy. It's all there. It's all damning. Even so, I seen a thing on Twitter where the police, in all their protective gear, 3 of them were on the ground, coughing and holding their eyes and spit. So the tear gas obviously even got them. It was probably sprayed back in the wind or something. It was a warm sort of day though as well, and people are queuing outside, 3 hours in that, and then being tear gassed, and you're dehydrated and you're warm, and you wouldn't enjoy the game if you went in. No matter what, even if you won the bleeding game, you wouldn't have enjoyed it. You'd be, I just crazy stuff. As I say, it's only a short stream tonight, just to vent out. As I said, I wasn't even in Paris. I'm probably delighted it wasn't in Paris, to be fair. I mean, I don't know what I would have done over there, but I was in Liverpool and it was brilliant, I have to say. It was a great weekend. Flew in Friday, went up to Anfield, did a few videos, met Garrett Roberts from the Anfield Rap, actually went for a coffee, went around the studio, and sadly, he told me he was leaving, actually, the Anfield Rap. So good luck to Garrett, whatever he does. He's an absolute legend. So Garrett, and then I met Mick Moran for the Cuphead podcast, went for a few beers, Jack Mack, Connor and the Cop Council on Friday. Then on Saturday, as I say, went to Anfield as well, took a few photos, and the Mo Salah, the mural, the Rush mural, went around the ground. It was great. It was just the atmosphere. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful sunny day Friday. Then Saturday was all day in Liverpool City Centre. I went through Concert Square. It was like being in Paris, I'm sure, where all the guys out with the pyros and see the videos. I put a few videos up anyway, and then the atmosphere went over to Jack Mac's house, met all the boys, had a few beers, and then we went back to his house for a beer garden. In his back of his garden, he had a big screen up for the match. Yeah, we were a bit deflated at the end, but we were getting messages of the madness that was going on before and after the game. It was absolutely crazy stuff. And then Sunday, just eased it off, had a bit of breakfast, met 1 or 2 friends, and came home. Didn't even get to the parade. I would have been in trouble getting out, I think, if I would have waited till later. The airports were a nightmare, apparently. Jack Mack, Merseyside police usually send undercover coppers to go over. They've launched an investigation. It's a stupid muppets that I've seen on Twitter over the last 48 hours, believing the headlines. Well, I'm not even going to go into that. Fuck them. Mostly United fans as well. I've seen a few idiots on. I won't mention names, but look, forget about them. Yeah, the undercover police, they always send spotters, I think they're called. They're always sent to away games, aren't they? For international games too. So that's because they can spot any troublemakers. You know what I mean? That aren't meant to be there. What's he doing here? And he's probably 10, 20 names. But I mean, they'll have their own little notebook of what happened as well. I mean, when they go back to Merseyside, which I'm sure they are back, that'll be part of the investigation, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Reports say that some stewards were asking for a bung off fans to let them through. Oh, stop. I mean, look, anything's possible. And fucking what happened Saturday night, anything was possible. I'm going to leave it now in a few minutes because it's only starting to annoy me. But I will do another show. I'm hoping to get on a few more, get people that were at the game, get their sort of, viewing it maybe. Oh, I know Owen was at it. I have one or two friends that were at it. I think Alex was in Anfield, Lark was at it, but just to get their actual personal, rather than talking about tweeted or videos on YouTube or Twitter videos, the actual from the horse's mouth basically is what I'm talking about. But as I say, we ultimately lost the game. Did we do enough to win it? We probably should have won it on chances and possession and stuff, but you don't win it on chances and possession. You win it on goals. And we didn't score and we lost. It was disappointing. It was a good season. They had a great parade. It looked really good at the parade, to be fair. We go again. We'll bring in one or two fresh faces, I hope. I actually hope Sadio Mane signs the deal. But it does look like he might leave. I even heard today maybe a swap deal for Lewandowski. That would be a good idea. But whether it happens, I don't know. I think we need a bit of someone fresh and attacking midfielders and maybe cover for Trent. Those three areas and keep what we have. If we sell more, we'd have to get in more. Big summer for Liverpool, but it's been a crazy season. Thanks to all you guys for popping in and now, hitting the like, hitting the share, and what you do, because it's been madness. And as I say, I will be back to Liverpool soon. Absolutely, as I enjoyed that weekend. It was brilliant. I got a lot in for the 48, 72 hours I was there, but I will definitely be over there again because I absolutely loved it. But we leave it there. Stay safe. Talk soon. UEFA, you're an absolute disgrace. And the French police are not far behind them. Andrew Quinn, how are you, bro? Met him in Liverpool as well Saturday night. I hope you're well, my friend. Just seeing a social media LFC fan put banners out of Anfield Gate saying, "You first scum." And they're right. Well, there you go. You're first scum, and there you go. Well, I'm not saying they're scum, just incompetent, really. Money grabbers, incompetence. Would you call them that? Yeah. Look, nothing we can do now. It's over. It's just an inquest, but I think it'd be a whitewash, to be fair. Unless Liverpool might really push it and, solicitors get involved and maybe stuff like that. Something might happen, but the way the government came out, the government minister, sports minister on Sunday night, basically saying the police were great and you did a great job. So you think to go back on the police and say, well, you didn't do a great job? I can't see that. I just, if 2 or 3 little recommendations about better security or don't use the tear gas so often. I mean, something crap like that will probably come out of it. But actual slaps on the hand, can't see it. Can't see it, guys. I really can't. As I say, I'll do a lot more stuff. I'll do a bit of stuff during even though there's no football. We have now a little bit of a break until pre-season in mid-July. But anything happens transfer-wise, you'll hear from me, Dave's LFC Chats. I'll be ready to rock and you'll see it either as a short or a normal video. Don't worry about that. So hit the like, hit the share, hit the notification button. So important, guys. We continue. We are Liverpool. We'll go on. Don't worry about losing the championship. Look, 63 games, 2 cups. Unbelievable season. Proud of the Reds. But let's see what happens with this investigation, guys. But I won't hold my breath. Cheers. Stay safe.